Let's have a big Park Live welcome for Donegal's Brendan Devenney. Take a seat. So, Brendan, a lot of people all around the country are wondering if reports of your demise have been greatly exaggerated. Turns out you're playing soccer.
Yeah, I've sneaked up to Portadown, collect a few STGs, you know.
STGs?
Sterling, for short, you know.
How's it going for you?
Going the best. I'm just with the UEFA Cup last week. We were out in Lithuania. So it's just a new experience, you know. But it wasn't that I switched soccer for Gaelic. It's just I was a bit busy the last few months with the business and all. So when I was talking to Brian earlier, I just told him I couldn't commit to the time, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I haven't been there at the moment.
I once read somewhere that you're a cross between Zidane and Roy Keane, but I think the person who said that was actually yourself.
Well, if you asked a few of my managers, they might say I play a bit more like Terry Keane or something like that, you know. No, but no, I enjoy playing soccer. I just love playing sport, you know, whatever way it comes. But you know, I'm missing Donegal. So watching them on Sunday, and you know, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, I'd say so. Let's have a quick look at how they did against Romana.
Up towards Christy Toy. Trying to steal inside Marty McGrath. There's a point here for Christy Toy, and he takes it. Second for Christy Toy. Now Christy Toy. Directly forward. That's a good ball to Leon Thompson. And that's a lovely score. And Donegal, when they opened up the Fermanagh defence, and the referee has blown the final whistle. He's played just 2 minutes of stoppage time. Brian McIver delighted. They're in the quarterfinals of the championship.
You turn your back for 1 minute and all of a sudden they're back in the quarterfinals. Is it kind of sickening?
It is a bit, but I suppose it was hard for me to decide in the summer. It's just it was a time issue, really, you know. So it's not as if I left them on purpose or just as I didn't want to play. It was just how things turned out, you know. So.
Would you go back? Would you have a message for Brian McIver?
If he's listening, Brian, take me back. If he wants me back, I'd definitely not finishing with football, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go back, you know, I'd love to play under him. I mean, the team seems to be going well at the minute, and you know, lads are playing super, and they're all my mates. Like that's who I've been playing with for 8 years. Like so, you know, it's hard to sit and watch them, and you want to be involved, you know. So.
One of the things that people believe contributed to your decision to play soccer is what happened against Romana. Now, I just want to remind everybody of this. Don't take too much offence to yourself, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
No problem. I was hoping they'd do a Paul Alcock and fall over, you know, but be famous like the Keno. But now, if any young kids are watching, get your bed. It's way past your bedtime.
6 months is a very long time. Were you hard? Do you feel hard done by?
Not really, no. I shouldn't have done it. It was nothing to do with the ref as such, you know. I apologise to McQuallen since, you know, it's not. It wasn't his fault. I just being a forward and being inside and getting pulled and dragged so much for years. I guess it just all erupted there and then. I wasn't enjoying the game, and it wasn't his fault. That was the first time in my life I've ever been sent off, and
yeah,
hopefully I won't be sent off again.
6 months, first time you ever got sent off. Do you just think that it was a principle they were making an example out of you?
Well, you can't touch a ref, you know. I mean, I appreciate refs. It's a difficult job, like, and you know, Gaelic's such a fast game, and there's so much going on because it's man to man. Everybody's pulling and pushing, so it's very hard for a ref to see what was going on. And unfortunately, I didn't see any of my pushing and pulling that day, except that situation there. So
the whole Paddy Campbell situation seems to have been a big motivation for Brian McIver. Is that something that, as footballers, you can kind of that you immediately identify with, this sense of injustice that brings the team together?
It does, I suppose, because GAA's played in that kind of zone. You know, managers and people look at anything. They, you know, as Colm says before, did they play that tape to the Dublin players before the match? You know, anything you can take to galvanise a team together. You know, because it's all about spirit. Like, if a team hasn't got spirit, it's got nothing. Like, so anything you can use to bring that spirit together, that's what you do.
Peter, you were obviously involved in a fairly high-profile video evidence case as well. Was that something that you think was used later on in the season to bring the team together, to incite this sense of injustice?
Yeah, like Brendan says, you know, a manager will use any tool like to motivate a team. You know, especially in Donegal's case, you know, to me anyway, it looked like Paddy Campbell got a bit of a raw deal, like, you know, and like Brian McIver is going to use that as a motivating factor. Obviously, it worked last Sunday.
Colin, do you have any time for this kind of, like footballers who need to get revved up? I mean...
Yeah, I think what the boys are saying is right, but I think what Donegal are annoyed about with Campbell is not what he done. Like, I think he deserved the suspension. What he done is why he waited 6 weeks. Is that why they're... That's why they're annoyed, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get revved up when you're sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? But I just want to start the Wooly from the bench campaign tonight. We have to get this man playing. You know, we need him out there.
Just for the flamboyance?
Just for the style. That's why I'd tune in. You know.
Absolutely.
Keep talking.
Have you guys got a deal going on here together? and maybe...
Well, normally when we're sitting this close to a guard, he's taking a statement. You know, so we're happy enough for us.
Bring Devenney back for Donegal as well. Is that that's a Parky's campaign? Very good.
That's good.
Folks, talk to me a little bit about this coming weekend. The Kerry Armagh game is just this massive game. It's just one of these things that we've been thinking about for a long time. How do you see this one going, Brendan?
I suppose Kerry Armagh have a bit of a on the inside over them, but I think this is of all years when Kerry aren't playing well, they might produce a performance, you know, because I think the other games have gone on as favourites. But I think this year, you know, there's been a lot of people knocking them for the way they've played. And you know, when a team's at the top for so often, as I say in GAA, you have to be in a zone to play it. And Kerry are thereabouts every year. So it can be hard sometimes to get that top motivation. But I think going into this game on Saturday, they'll have every motivation.
Peter Creeley, you had a long inter-county Gaelic football career with Waterford as well. You would have come up against many great Kerry teams and seen them at their peak. What do you make of this side? I mean, there's some suggestions that maybe they're weak around the pitch.
I don't know about weak. I think what is catching up with them a small bit is age. I think the last time I played was '97 against Kerry in a football championship, and there was still 4 or 5 of the present team that were playing that night. You know, so it's worrying to see him still there. Say Dario O'Shea midfield, Seamus Moynihan centre back in key positions, like, you know. So I think age might be catching up with him a small bit, you know, and I think it might be a telling factor on Saturday.
Colin, you guys have played against Armagh in the championship and seen the full force of their physicality up close. Is it intimidating? Is that the first thing that you notice about the quality of their play?
I wouldn't say it's really intimidating, but they are all huge men, like, do you know what I mean? I just hope that they win by a few points, because you might see a few of their players actually smiling for a change. But they're a very serious team. Like, like, you can't help but respect them, because they are what they are. They're back every single year. So I think Armagh will win it, to be honest with you.
The whole thing? I mean,
no, I think it'll be Kerry. I think Elisha will win the whole thing.
Very good. That's the answer we expected. And do you expect Armagh to win as well?
It's hard to call. I think Coach Kerry have that bit of motivation. I think it suits them getting into this game. But it depends how Armagh play on the day. You know, they've been a bit up and down this year. But if Armagh play to their top, I think they'll win it.
All right. Well, we'll get to see you guys fight it out.
Well, it's like a package of licorice all sorts here between footballers, hurlers, a soccer star and a camogie player as well. It's time for the skills challenge. Okay, you'll each have 30 seconds on the clock to score as many points as you can by hitting the Park Live target in the centre of the board. Everybody happy?
Easy, mate.
Easy?
Nice. Calm.
I suggest you three take cover there in the corner. Wooly, you're up first.
We have a side bet on this now, so...
Oh, how much?
I've never been so nervous in all my life.
There's a lot riding on this. Kick from behind the line.
Keep me counted down now. I want to know what the time is like, right? Just keep...
I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Okay.
Go. No. Yeah, we'll give you that one. Feel free to encourage them or insult them or put them off. No. Yeah, you're on 3. 15 seconds. No. 3 so far, 5 is the top score. No. What's the time? 5 seconds left. 2, 1. You have scored 3. Okay, I heard you were firing, Amber. Hey. Okay, are you going to be winning this bet? 3 is your score to beat. You're going Gaelic tonight, Zinedine Devenney. Off you go. Oh, no. You scored 5. Well done. You've lost the bet. Okay, but now it is time for kite, and you brought your own hurley to the car. And you brought your own sliver as well. You brought your own. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. Okay, 30 seconds. You happy? Yeah. For the pride of the Rockies, kite, go. The girl. Close, come on. 20 seconds left, kite. 2. No, nearly. Still on 2, 10 seconds left, kite, come on. 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now,
No pressure
up
at
to
all.
the line, no pressure whatsoever.
No sliding at all in your...
Go. No.
I love the bill music.
No. Come on, Peter. They won't allow you back into water for tonight. No. 1. 10 seconds left. Oh, kite is looking good. 2. 5 seconds. Nearly.
That was it.
It's time for the presentation. Okay. Listen, thank you very much to all of you for coming in. It is time to congratulate our winner. It was very close. Brendan.
I'll be a gentleman. I'll be a gentleman. Absolutely.
Ah, how about that? I'm back to you, Sarah.